While I start with pushing back the eponychium, I have some things to talk about with you, so I'll be back and forth explaining what I'm doing. And this shouldn't be aggressive so you don't break the delicate seal underneath and cause exposure for microbes to enter. Clean the sidewalls because lifting can happen if cuticle tissue isn't cleaned on the sides too. I miss being here so much. This has been quite a journey with many ups and downs, but I had to lend my time to focus more at school, and I thank you so much for being here today. Clipping the length to make sure my nails will lay flush in the well of the tip, which, by the way, these are wide mouth clippers and they've now become my favorite. I got them on Amazon and I ended up getting 2 more for school. You know I always remind you that it's best to shape your natural nails with a glass hand file. So during this last month, I had a larger number of students than what I started with. The class is an amazing group and they won my heart. I'm so proud of them. There's a big variance of skill level in this group too, which was quite the challenge at first, but these ladies have been making it happen. I already cleaned my hands, but you should also stay in practice of cleaning under the free edge. And today you'll see me using the ball bit. The ball bit has been the most chosen bit for prep. Not to forget though that there are others that work well too, which by now you've seen some others that I like as well. And I tend to start on a sidewall and go in one direction to the other sidewall. Never go more coarse than a fine to medium arbor band when removing oils and shine from the natural nail plate. And all of this should be done at low speeds on natural nails. As you watch a lot of nail content, don't just do what you saw. 2,000 to 5,000 RPMs is a suggested range, but if you do clients, you really need to know your clients individually so you can choose an appropriate speed that's safe for them. I have super thin nails, so I've started using it at 2,000 RPMs, and always practice on yourself first to know what the client is feeling. And as you saw, yes, my favorite 3XL tapered, but something funny. You know how much I like these for length and shape, but at the school, most clients that come in want working length or shorties. Now I'm so conflicted at this point because those lengths are starting to grow on me too. And you know what else? I recently did an oval shape for one of the regulars, and I don't know, guys, I love them too. You hear this all the time, but when sizing the tips, it is important that they fit totally across the nail from sidewall to sidewall. And if there isn't a match, always remember to size up, then trim the sides to fit. Never go with a nail tip that falls short across the nail. Otherwise, it can lead to cracks and the extension can break off. And you'll see that I pinched the sides so that they adhere all the way across too. I only cut the numbers. Cutting these too much takes away from the taper. Now, even though blending gets left out in many videos, and I can say I'm guilty of it as well, but this is important too. Bring the well area flush to the surface, and this can easily be done with a hand file, buffer, or e-file. So yeah, I've been enjoying these ladies so much. I love that they're so supportive and encouraging to each other. Oh, I even challenged them to do duckies. And the students that did them, they turned out so cute. Well, you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea. They asked many questions too. These ladies kept me on my toes, and I loved every minute of it. All in all, I hadn't had the opportunity to sit and do nails side by side with the students. Like, I really wanted to do the duck nails with them, so I decided to do this set. Bringing the surface of the nail tip flush with the natural nail prevents air and water pockets, and doing the length is to help with adhesion. The final thing in prep is to first apply dehydrator. You only need to put it on the natural nail to remove any natural moisture. Then primer too. This also helps with adhesion, and you'll see some do the primer twice. Both of these are air dry. These colors are by Nicole Diary, and they're on Amazon. I think I did a video before of a Nicole Diary collection. And these are from a set that I've been taking to school, which is the reason I chose to use these for the video. The students like it, and they've also done 3D nail art with it, which is why I'm doing 3D art as well. And I was trying to tilt the jars inside the top for an angle because they're so small, but my brush is a size 14 and the jars wouldn't stay, so oh well. This color wasn't turning out the way I thought. Can you see how I thought this was white? But it turns out to be a translucent gray. It's actually a pretty gray though. And at some point, I remember the prop diamond falling from under my hand. We go through so much trying to get good hand positions. I didn't wait enough and ended up wiping most of this away. But it's okay because I'll be adding pink to this nail too. And when you pick up a bead and see that it's too wet, you can drain the monomer from the back of the brush on the whites that you use. Yeah, the students really do support each other and have each other's back. Like, if one of them is done practicing a nail set, we all cheer them on. And when client services start, there's so much cooperation between them. I hear things like, "What do you need? You can use mine if you don't have one." They step up if a classmate doesn't feel ready to do a certain service, and they split services too, so no one gets worn out if they haven't developed speed yet. They're just so awesome. Here's a closer view. Wait for it to polymerize, and this does vary with your product. This acrylic takes a little longer for what I'm used to, so I give it those few seconds. Feathering it up fades it for the next bead to blend over it smoothly. Then using the belly of the brush and lightly feathering it, I'm shifting it to bring it off the sides to keep it on top and evening it out. Then gently down to the free edge. And sorry for being out of frame, but not for long. And one more small bead. More often than not, it'll take doing a few fingers to fill out any acrylic, and it almost always turns out better by the time you get to the middle or index finger. Now, I'm not using the color acrylic to build thickness or to create an apex. If I did, I'd use up the colors pretty fast. You can create that structure when doing the clear capping because clear is usually less expensive, so it'll save you coins in the long run. So in the end, I know we teach 3-bead method in school, but when school is over, if you're doing a length like this, you know it'll require more. So don't create unnecessary stress for yourself. As much as I've missed being here, school had to take a priority as I had to do my own studying and prep for class too. And I'm sharing this because this leads into my announcement. I'm so happy to share with you that I satisfied my required hours. I even did more than the required hours so I could wrap things up with the students. They gave me flowers to congratulate me and a card that I'll always cherish. I'm gonna miss these ladies so much. Now from here there's a little more study and review I have to do, then I'll be taking my final exam. And once I pass it, I graduate. This is so surreal because you know how you think back to the beginning and your goal seems so far away? This went by before I could realize. In fact, I had a lot of hours over what I actually need because it became such a passion. And these students played a huge part in that happening. So once I graduate, which I'm planning to test out this week, I can register for the state exam. I am floating. And I also have you to thank for your support through everything over this last season. The losses in my family while still pushing on with school. I love you guys so much. If you're not familiar, this is Zule's On Point disc, and it's a surefire game changer and time saver when it comes to shaping. You may not always see it in my videos because I do still keep with hand file skills. And anyway, I'm out of frame most of the time for the rest of filing and shaping. I like to use a lighter medium 5-in-1 carbide bit to clean around and shape the arch. I usually use it at about 6,000 or 7,000 RPMs. If it feels like it may be too much though, you can go with the sanding band. After brushing away the dust and cleaning my hands, glossy no wipe top coat, and this is cured for 60 seconds. And so starts the 3D flowers. At first I was going to center this gem, then change my mind. I hadn't done this particular flower yet, and it's become so popular. The first bead was a little too dry, so I wiped it off. Now for 3D art, acetone in your monomer helps to speed up the setting time. I was playing around with the edges to keep it from spreading out. I use the flat of the brush and press out from the middle, and then the tip of the brush to pull the center to a point. These next 3 beads will be smaller on the sides, and sometimes the most difficult thing is to pick up the same size beads, especially when they're smaller. And I still do the same with these. Use the flat of the brush to press outward a little, but I didn't necessarily pull points in these. I finished the rest off camera because it was getting late. And remember I said this acrylic had a particular characteristic? This is how they turned out. And this is how they turned out. I'm loving this glow reveal. I'm so happy to share my announcement with you today and hope you enjoyed this tutorial/chat. Here's another 3D flower video you can enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe because I'm back and there will be much more. I'm so happy to see you today and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Much love.